Okay, let's get into a couple of the weird topics that are happening today. What are the Knicks doing, Jesse? Like I don't know. They have reportedly called the Dallas Mavericks about Jason Kidd. They called the Minnesota Timberwolves about Chris Finch. They called the Houston Rockets about Emi Udoka. Like, can they just find their own person?
Sounds like James Dolan was unhappy with the result of the season, and it seems like only James Dolan was unhappy, just given what I read after it and all that. And it seems like they had no plan. This is classic Knicks. This is why they're the Knicks. It's just you felt like he kind of got out of the way and all that the last few years because they've been winning, and it's just now you fire Tibbs and it's like you're telling us right now you have no real plan. You've been going to every team, hey, can we never your coach? Can we have your coach? And it's like it's not working.
What it feels like is like the Knicks show up at a hotel, and in one ballroom there's like a singles mixer, and then the other ballroom there's like a whole bunch of married couples like having dinner.
Yeah, but they want that to be a swingers party.
And exactly. I didn't know if I was gonna take it there, but it's like they walk into the one that says like married couples.
Yeah.
They walk in and it's like, hey, can I dance with your wife? And it's like,
no, this is not what's going on here.
It's like, no, like, who are you and why are you here? It's like, you need to leave. It's like, oh, okay. So they wander to the next table, a couple over, like, hey, I was wondering, would your wife like to dance? It's like, no, you can't dance with my. What is happening, Jesse?
A lot of these teams happily married to Ime Udoka just got married to the Rockets like last year or the year before that.
Yeah.
Like they're happy.
Yeah, and not only that, but the Timberwolves, they gave up a bunch of stuff to get Chris Finch.
Yeah.
They like went out and paid.
They fired a coach, I think, mid-season. It was this whole ugly prospect. Like, no, Chris Finch is our guy. Like
they fired a coach and hired Finch the same night, who was an assistant on someone else's staff.
Yeah.
And then Jason Kidd is like, all right, well, I might be game. I don't know. The Mavs are like, no. He's like, well, I don't know. Maybe it's like he's out there again hiring assistant. He just hired Jay Triano. But that's the one where you're like, okay, what exactly is happening? This has got to the point where it's really, really weird.
Yeah, at this point, it's whoever they hire is now the rebound.
Yeah, yeah, because now everybody knows, like, you chased a lot of other people before.
Yeah,
you like, yeah, it's weird.
It's a pretty hard. It's a tough job too. You just fired a coach where it's like, if to me the way you did it, like the standard was the finals, he didn't reach it, so we fired him. Now you're bringing in a coach where it's just finals or failure. That's a tough job to go into.
I think it's a tough job, but at the same time, I don't mind a tough job with Jalen Brunson and with Karl Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby.
Maybe Giannis if you make the right calls. Maybe KD if you make the right calls.
Yeah, I mean that's again. I think that's you're the Knicks.
Yeah,
like every possibility is out there, right? So if they're willing to spend, which it seems like they are, like it's not a bad job. Of course, there's going to be scrutiny, but I'm kind of surprised. There's a list of coaches here that all are named Mike that I'm surprised haven't been called, or maybe they have been, but I'm surprised that as opposed to trying to steal somebody else's coach, Mike Brown, of course, is out there. Michael Malone is out there. Mike Budenholzer is out there.
Yeah, all the Mikes.
Like I honestly think they're probably going to end up with one of the Mikes.
Mike Malone feels like the right answer for me. Just given he's got the ring and all that stuff. Like he's been there before. I mean, Budenholzer as well, but Budenholzer's more removed. Mike Brown is not a favorite option, but
well, I think he's very well liked within the walls because he has connections with their management group. And so I wouldn't be shocked if Mike Brown is a option, or even the head coach of the Knicks next season. He's the one who doesn't have a ring of this group. But I don't think he
won over his career.
Yeah, I don't think you ding him for that. I mean, of course,
he had that's just young why LeBron. I prefer hiring Mike Malone. He stands out to me, I think.
Yeah, but is Mike Malone too much like Mike? Tom Thibodeau?
I think Mike Malone's more willing to play his bench guys.
Okay.
Like the Denver ran out of the depth the last couple of years. That was kind of their issue, more so than anyone else in their starting lineup and all that. And I feel like maybe Mike Malone feel like he ran out of options, but if you get him to New York, and he'll play with that team.
Yeah,
What
I
about that take?
just think he's like the
He's
personality
yeah, he's
wise.
a tough personality. He's probably not where the league is headed, I guess, which is now you probably see more coaches that are kind of player coaches, I guess would be the term. We're just
It's
they're cool with
funny.
the guys and all that. But I still think Mike Malone would work in today's NBA, even with
My
that personality.
experience with Mike Malone was that he is a good dude and that he is a player's coach, but he grades on management. Like
What do
there's
you mean by
always
that?
an adversarial relationship between him and somebody else.
Gotcha.
Always.
Is he kind of like a Jim Harbaugh type?
Maybe.
Like Jim, I think had issues with 49ers front office, kind of that got sour or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
what the case was with Michigan and all that, but that was just kind of the case. Like Jim was a great coach and all that. Yeah, Soren Smith just threw it in there right now. It says Mike Malone equals Jim Harbaugh. So I wonder if it's kind of something like that.
Yeah, I mean, he just spent 10 years in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if you can spend 10 years somewhere, and like, look, I've always thought Mike is a good dude.
Yeah.
You know, he's a family guy. He's a smart guy. You know, he has a lineage with his dad being an NBA like head coach and an assistant for decades. But that doesn't change the fact that he can be a little, you know, again, intense. He's intense. And even like the way it worked with the Kings here, him and Pete D'Alessandro, like they didn't have a conversation like the last 6 weeks that Mike was in the building.
Yeah, it's not great. I don't hate intense. Like I feel like intense is okay if you just are able to just show it the right way. Because if you're just yelling the whole time or whatever, just yelling to yell, like nobody's gonna buy into that. But if you have a standard that you're trying to reach and people can see it, like yeah, like that's fine.
Yeah, I
It's just a
think
matter of like you got to connect with the guys.
Mike Brown has always been a guy who connects with the guys, but also has insane standards.
Yeah.
Like he's meticulous and like the focus on the details really stand out for Mike Brown.
Would you say Mike Brown lost the locker room at the end of his tenure with the Kings?
I would say that the locker room lost its own way. You had too many people with too many ideas about where the Kings should be and who they should be, and the wrong mix of players to make that happen.
Gotcha.
And you know, so no, I don't think he lost the locker room as much as I do think that like there was dissension between certain factions within the locker room, and I guess that if you get to that point, you can say he lost the locker room. But I also think he's a wonderful coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like any coach that can get you 18 more wins in his first season is a really good coach. Anyone who wins NBA Coach of the Year twice is a really good coach.
That is also the kiss of death, by the way, though.
No, it is.
2018 and 2023, all those coaches that won are gone now.
All right. Well, we're going to step aside. We got a whole bunch of stuff to talk